I've settled on the way this witch farm should look. And so we're gonna need to go somewhere to go find more resources because we like getting resources, but we don't like actually building stuff unless we whatever, man. Um, I I don't know which direction my home is now. Oh, I found myself. And then I made a sign. Alright, so we're going to a mesa biome so I can get the resources. And meanwhile, I have to talk about the anime I finished last season, which I completely forgot I should have talked about, huh? Also, look at this. We already have the fucking obsidian that we need to just go to the place where I want to go. So let's go there. So, I have only really finished 2 anime of the ones I watched last season because 2 of them are still ongoing. So, we'll talk about those later. And I gotta put probably some sort of signage here so I remember that there's something this way. I love this system because it's horrible and it's bad. But whatever. So we're talking about 2 of those animes today, all in a row, because I mean one of them's Dorohedoro, which kind of a crazy show. So yes, I did watch season 2 of Dorohedoro, and I was mostly surprised by everything they did throughout that season, because holy, that was unexpected. I don't know what I think about it, because on the one hand, I think I love the like boldness. It's a bold move. It's a really bold move what they're doing with it, because basically what they're doing is they I don't want to spoil anything, but they are making decisions normal storytellers don't make, with like what's happening to the characters and whatnot, and who they're introducing and shit. It just feels like all of a sudden you're in a different universe and you're supposed to care about different people, you know? And I understand that the different people are related to the old people, but still, it's like, I don't know. It's a weird. Oh, you want to take me there? Please don't tell me I've gone to the wrong coordinate. I may have gone to the wrong coordinate. Oh no. Hold on. This playing without the light. Oh my god! I think it is the wrong coordinate. Uh oh. Yikes! Yes, I am 600 blocks off. Ooh, don't break this. I'm gonna be stuck here. Where's the sum? Another way here. Might as well collect some wood. Hold on. We need to add a little message. Ooh, careful with that guy. No, you don't get to do that. Let me just write a little message for myself in the future. Oops. It's 03 08 26. These messages are great because I may read them in like 2 years and think to myself, you know? I'll just think to myself. Here I go. Actually, good time to continue thinking about Dorohedoro, huh? So yeah, the season sort of takes a different route with the characters that I did not expect. And that was quite good, except for a few characters that they introduced, and I'm supposed to care about them, and it doesn't really work. Mostly, I'm just amazed at how bold some of the writing decisions is. You know, like permanently lobotomizing characters and killing others, and then all sorts of crazy stuff. You gotta commend the writers. Like, I never expected them to actually follow through with some of those decisions. And they did. It's just, I feel like after that moment. There you go. I need to go this way. Alright. I feel like some of those decisions end up being really weird. In the sense that, like, the story doesn't really find its footing as quickly as I would like. After, shit goes tits up. killing major characters and whatnot. And he's just it's awkward, but I feel like it's an execution issue rather than a concept issue. Because I really like the concept of like suddenly changing everything up. It works well. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh, narratively, I'm not sure it works. Now, there's one thing about Dorohedoro that actually they just completely nailed, and like you can't argue otherwise, and that's the visuals. There we go. Ah, much more correct than what I was looking for. Yes, I'm looking for terracotta to decorate my farm. Also, I need to upgrade versions. I'm still in I'm still in like 26.1.1.2. Like 26.3 comes out in like a month probably. I don't know what the fuck they're adding to it. They're gonna add a new song. I hope they add a new song by what's her name? Laura Shigahara, Plants vs Zombies composer. Have her compose a song for Minecraft. Hell yeah, I'd be into that. I'd love that. Okay, maybe don't destroy so near the portal. There's like so much badland towards this direction. Like genuinely so much. Like genuinely, okay, it's not actually that big. It's pretty big, but not that big. But anyways, back to Dorohedoro. I think the most amazing thing about it. I hate these shrubs in this biome. I feel like they should be a different color. I think the most amazing thing about it definitely is just how nice and good the visuals look. They they are wonderful, the visuals of Dorohedoro this season. I mean, I guess also last season, but this is the season that's like currently out. And it's just so much better. The first season, it was like they were still kind of figuring out what the visual would look like, 3D also. Like 3D in general is not something that it seems people who are into like watching anime really adore. Wow, my inventory is flooded with garbage. Holy, what's all this? What's all this? All good stuff. And it's nice to see that it has a new like the visual style. It's basically still the same. They've just figured it out better because it's always been like 3D. And the first season's 3D is still really good, especially for like 3D anime standards. And I think it came out in 2019 or was it 17? If it's 17, I'll flip. It should be like 2019. And like they really like stepped it up when it comes to anime CG and like 3D anime animation. And I think there's no better example than Dorohedoro because like it's just such a beautiful genre fusion of like the 3Ds and the 2Ds, but also it has like its own magic. I don't know how to explain it exactly. It's like this new season gets to have the most beautiful and lush environments. The characters look fantastic. Everything in movement is so well blended between 2D and 3D to the point where like it's unrecognizable from the way anime used to do 3D animation in the olden days. I remember like seeing all 3D anime like before Beastars happened, and it always looked kind of okay. Like we're gonna talk about Girls Last Tour later because I watched that independent of like watching anything. And what I was watching Girls Last Tour is like sometimes the girls turn into a CG tank and it's just ooh. And nowadays they try to do CG and the only real like noticeable ugly CG thing that modern anime do is the fucking like CG crowds. I don't know why they keep doing CG crowds. I prefer crowds that are just people who are not moving in the background. It's a little bit off, but I think it takes me out of the experience less than CG crowds. It's like, okay, CG crowds is like a specific niche of CG that you just do because, want to save budget. Whereas Dorohedoro here is like the entire show is CG. The entire show is meant to look like that. And I think it's real pretty. I think the way they depicted everything is real pretty, and I love that the 2D and 3D is so well mended that they sometimes just get to go into full 3D land, like 2D land or 3D land, depending on what they need. So if they need some really specific and nice looking gore, they can. They can just go like, oh, now it's 3D. Now it's 3D. Now it's 2D. And the gore, it just looks fantastic. To the point where I'm like, I was brought back to the early anime days where anime was popular within the 13-year-old crowd who would tell you things such as, I'm not like other kids. I can handle the gore. It took me right back to that era. That's not a sign you want to place down. So I think it's wonderful how absolutely detailed everything is, and how the 2D and 3D elements all are mended so well together that they work. It was just, it was kind of wonderful. Oh, how high does this go? That's how high it goes. Look at all these colors. There's so many colors of terracotta. Look at this. Wow, amazing. It's like I'm a little terracotta rainbow. I need to put stuff in stuff real quick. Right, we don't really need all these other colors. So I think that's my biggest praise for this season of Dorohedoro. It's just, wow, you guys, they did a pretty job with it. It's a really nice looking show. And that's like the biggest thing. It is true that the writing is kind of iffy, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it, but I think I need to see how the story develops, because I feel like the problem that I had with the story is just that it just did a bunch of extremely broad strokes that you wouldn't expect anywhere. And they kind of like pulled off some cool stuff at the expense of the story kind of losing its footing a lot. So now I'm not sure what's happening or what's going on and which characters I should care about. To introduce this guy, looks like fucking, like, I don't know, Sasuke or something. I don't really like them. Awful design. They also introduced a little bit more backstory on Nikaido, which she's just a really strong character, and I'm glad this story still has her around. TLDR, yeah, maybe the show could have been a bit better when we had Lizard Daddy, and now Lizard Daddy is in peril. It just doesn't feel the same. I gotta say, I also appreciate that the show uses the whole BDSM culture in its like visuals and characters and whatnot. It's weird to say, but I do. I do appreciate that it has just that vibe turned up to like 1,000. You can tell the person doing the manga and the art really cared about that aesthetic to some extent. And it's one of the best usage of that aesthetic that I've seen for like non-kinky shit. Because of course for kinky shit it's being used, but like, who are we? What are we doing? I gave the Dorohedoro anime, I think, a 9 or an 8. I'm not sure. But that's what you're getting for this video.